We're here. Now tell me what this is all about.
As I told you on Carrick Station, Tenebrae's last gruesome weapon. He sought immortality, but only his endless spite survives now. I was his most powerful servant once. His wrath. But I learned of his true nature and plotted his downfall for centuries. Ultimately, I saw what had to be done, and betrayed my empire in order to destroy its creator. That is how I came to fight alongside Kira.
We fought the Emperor's servants constantly for years. We even thought we'd beaten him alongside my master. Then Yavin 4 happened. And Valkorion.
I received guidance from an old ally. Instead of seeking out our enemy in his current shell, you, as it turns out, we sought a different target. Tenebrae hid his original body where no one could harm it. As long as that body remained in stasis, the galaxy's greatest evil could never truly be killed.
Unless we destroyed Tenebrae, the fight against Valkorion would never really be over.
Since Valkorion is gone, I assume you succeeded.
We did. As we later learned, we destroyed his first body just as you purged the last vestige of his twisted spirit from your mind. That is when his final weapon was unleashed. A Sith ritual, carved into his very flesh, unleashed an ancient plague from every molecule of his decaying corpse.
We were both knocked out cold, comatose for more than a year. Satil Shan was the one who finally pulled us out of that nightmare, and started a new one.
Like you, Kira and I have both been vessels for a portion of Tenebrae's power. It acted as a sort of vaccine. But Satil had no such protection, nor did any of her followers. Within days, they were all laid low, trapped in a nightmarish slumber. In helping us, they are knowingly doomed themselves.
Sith rituals. A force disease. I don't really see how I can help you with this.
You're the only one who can.
The infection is worsening. There is a darkness growing among the afflicted.
We can feel their minds connecting, communicating. We're afraid they might be merging somehow.
Merging into what? Another Valkorion? Is this plague bringing him back somehow?
It's too early to make that conclusion. Whatever it is immensely dangerous. We must stop it.
How?
We loaded Satil and all of her followers onto a transport to keep them quarantined, along with a few med droids to tend to them. The transport is programmed to fly a random course through unsettled sectors of the Outer Rim, all weeks away from civilization. I can send a signal to alter the course, bring it to another empty system that's closer so that we can meet it in a shuttle.
We board the ship and connect our minds with yours through the Force. Together, we will face this entity and purge it from existence. And if we cannot purge it, then we destroy the transport and hope we've ended the old monster's schemes forever.
Send the signal. If what you say is true, this thing could be getting stronger by the minute.
I'll send the signal right away. It'll take a while for the transport to come back into range. Mind if we stay here in the meantime? I'm no crasher. If you need any help while we're waiting, all you have to do is ask.
If it's a matter of fighting in your renewed war, leave me out. I have slain enough of my old comrades for 5 lifetimes.
Old softy.
Ah, child.
I have a good feeling about this. Call if you need me.
Looks like your guests from Task Force Nova are finally here, and they picked up a stray. Patching you through now.
Commodore!
General Daerun, is everything all right?
I apologize for the delay in our arrival. We happened to cross pirates attacking a refugee ship from the Mid-Rim. Shameful. Fortunately, we intervened in time. Tau and Arn are still chasing down the pirates, but the refugees are in dire need of medical supplies and other essentials. Our ships will touch down momentarily. See you shortly.
Time for fun.
Can't wait to see what happens next! I'm ready for anything!
Admiral Ago's doing the best he can, but with our limited resources, things are tough.
This is well within our triage capacity, General. We'll have them all treated and ready to travel immediately.
Wonderful. Thank you, Captain.
Such carnage. We tend to focus so much on the Sith that we forget the galaxy is full of other dangers.
Which pirates were responsible for the attack?
We believe they were Dire Skulls, but we'll learn more once Tau and Arn capture them.
There are quite a few supplies to distribute. Perhaps we could lend a hand before we get to our other purpose here.
Do what you like. Find me when you're ready to get down to business.
We'll do that. See you shortly.
Standing around rarely accomplishes anything.
Greetings, Commander. Oh, excellent, Commander. I'll get started right away.
Our victory on Corellia still has the Empire reeling. Our forces have made significant gains in the Atravis, Bormia, and Anoat sectors. Morale is higher than ever. Our task force will be staged for success right from the beginning.
Finding Jedi who've been hiding for years is gonna take a lot more than moving into a few territories.
Yes, but the search will be much simpler in areas free of Sith interference. Certainly an advantageous start. Aside from the occasional pirate, supply and communication lines between Odessan and Republic Command appear to be secure. We have a full deployment of troops ready to station on Odessan, along with patrol ships and transports. They'll be at your command for task force objectives. On the subject of transports, we've had some issues with cargo ships moving through Hutt space. Nothing violent. Not yet, at least. But we're seeing constant delays in refueling, purchasing supplies, and processing transactions in their territories. Delays we can't afford. I don't have much experience dealing with the Hutts, but I expect they're looking for bribes to speed things along. How would you approach the situation?
Dealing with a Hutt cartel is more trouble than it's worth, believe me. Find other routes for your transports.
A lot of fuel to lose. Hopefully the trade-off in time and other costs will make up the difference. I believe that covers our most pressing issues.
Any word on Darth Malgus? I haven't heard anything since Corellia.
None, which is very strange. He should have returned to the front lines by now, even if his wounds were severe. I only hope we can determine his next move before he strikes again.
Aaron? Aaron, what's wrong?
It's him. Malgus.
Malgus? What do you mean? What about him?
He's almost here. I can sense him. He's coming to Dantooine.
Then let's be ready.
waited too long as it is. Something is wrong. I'm sure of it.
Smashing up the place isn't gonna solve anything. We'll find the ship. It's gonna be all right.
I take it there's no sign of the transport with Satil and her followers?
Nothing. It isn't responding to our signals. And we've already checked the next scheduled stop. No sign.
Which leaves just about 200 or 300 systems to search.
There must be another way!
Let's start by not breaking anything. This furniture wasn't free.
Go easy on him. It's been hundreds of years since he felt real emotions. He's a bit out of practice. All we can do is start searching from the ship's last known coordinates, which, for us, could take forever. So we get an expert. We'll send T7 out with an escort and all the probe droids we can find. They'll cover more ground and sort through sensor readings faster than we ever could. T7 works his astromech magic, crunches the probe data to pick up a trail, and we find our missing ship in a matter of days or weeks, instead of years.
Who should be escorting them? More droids?
That would be best. They won't be affected by whatever the Emperor has done to Satil and the others. That's everything settled then. As soon as we get coordinates, you'll be the first to know. Don't worry, your furniture's safe. He'll calm down in a bit.
You don't demand anything, Jakaya. Certainly not from her.
If you're risking your life out there, I'll demand what the clan requires.
What's going on?
It seems I'm a child in need of a parent.
You're Mandalore, the Avenger. You have responsibilities to all of us.
So you often tell me.
Who's this?
Jakaya Ordo. One of my best. He managed to avoid my notice for too long, but now I've put him to work. Though I'm having second thoughts.
I would gladly go back to being an unknown, Great Mandalore. I prefer the talk of warriors to the endless jabbering of politics.
The curse of being skilled at both, you old rancor.
So you're the one. Not sure if I should call you Commander.
Not necessary. The need for a commander is done.
Understood. I like to be clear on these things. Helps me get your measure. The fact is, Commodore, I only know your reputation. I don't know you. It's my job to take a hard look at anyone this close to Mandalore. I've worked with enough outlaws to know you like to take risks. All of you are either foolish or impossibly brave. If Mandalore herself calls you an ally, you must be a good mix.
Takes a bit of both to survive in this galaxy.
No disputing that.
So what happens now?
I've seen your face, looked into your eyes. That's what I wanted.
Satisfied?
For now.
Good. I'm sure you have more important things to do.
Some clan grumbling to track down. More than the usual complaints. Ras and I will check into it. Jakaya out.
Ras?
His brother. They're a family of Mandalorians. Lost a sister a few years back.
Something wrong?
That's the first time he's mentioned a clan issue. He oversees a lot of the day-to-day details without a word.
Let Jakaya find out more. If he's one of your best, trust him to do his job.
You're right. It's hard to sit back. But he's better at rooting out trouble. He kept an assassin's knife out of my gut more than once. You're a leader. How would you deal with unrest in the ranks?
Division makes all of you vulnerable. That could cost lives.
You have more in common with Jakaya than I thought. He demands order. Without it, he says you have a mob instead of allies. Well, looks like I've got reports to review on escort missions we've been overseeing. Chikaya snuck them into the transmission. Sneaky Chikar.
I'll leave you to it.
Did you learn anything from the clans?
Nothing I haven't mentioned before. A lot of heated words. Some are saying Mandalorians are just glorified couriers.
Still unable to see past their next fight. All tactics and no strategy.
However restless you are in the position, Mandalore, you sound like a leader.
I sound angry. My blaster is still a better negotiator than I will ever be. What about the escort runs?
Silence. But only a fool would believe they haven't heard something.
What happened?
Some of the cargo ships we were looking after ran into trouble. Mostly scouts sniffing around. But one exchanged fire. We've been looking into it.
Chikaya.
Commodore, we meet again. I've been keeping an eye on you.
And?
Mandalore was right to stand by your side.
Sounds like you should be watching someone else.
Always.
Who would attack Mandalorian ships?
That's the real question. They're well equipped and they know our methods.
You need to get ahead of this. Everyone knows the Mandalorians are looking after some very valuable goods. Very tempting.
Agreed. But it's not common bandits or even an ambitious cartel. This feels different. Like they're testing our defenses. I know you object, Mandalore, but we must look closer to home.
I don't object. I just want to be sure. Would some of the clans really go that far?
I'm not ruling it out. Like I said, there were some heated words.
Like Shay said, we need to know more before we jump to conclusions.
I understand. But something is making my trigger finger itch. We should have clamped down harder on the clans when we had the chance. The wound has festered.
No, Mandalorians aren't droids. We're best when we don't have some restraining bolt on our neck, even if it costs us.
It's much harder to clean up a mess than prevent it.
First Chikaya, and now you? You think Mandalorians need a nursemaid?
No, just a reminder of what's best for everyone.
I recall when leading was about being the strongest. Things have gotten complicated. But enough talk. Our agreements must continue. We gave our word those cargo transports would be safe.
Understood, Mandalore. I'll see if I can draw the enemy out. Can't fight what we can't see. If I'm lucky, I'll make them mad enough to come out and play. Chikaya out.
I'd prefer a fight to all this sneaking about.
Nothing wrong with sneaking around. But I get your meaning. Keep me posted.
Count on it.
T7, you found the ship with Zatil Shan and her students?
Finally. Great work.
We need those coordinates now. There isn't a moment to spare.
Try to get aboard the freighter. We need to know what's happening.
We need to get there now. The servants have found their master.
The servants? I can't believe there are any of them left.
The servants?
They're the Sith Emperor's worst fanatics. They don't even have names, just Servant 1, Servant 2, and so on.
Each time we think we've killed the last of them, more always appear.
We have to get moving. If the servants are involved, this is even worse than we thought.
How did they even find your ship? We had a head start, and it still took weeks.
They must hear their old master's call in their minds. Just as we feared.
We can't risk taking anyone else. They won't be able to resist the Emperor's control like we can. I'll get a shuttle prepped. Meet me as soon as you're ready. One way or another, this ends today.
I realize this is something you must do without me, but I couldn't let you go without at least wishing you luck. The way this is unfolding, I'm completely disheartened. I never dreamed we'd face Valkorion again, and now you must do so without my help. I can't stand the thought of you out there facing him alone. I'll pace the halls until you return.
Don't worry, Lana. I'll be back with you as soon as I can. We wouldn't want you to wear the floors down.
No, we wouldn't want that, would we?
I hate to ruin the moment, but we need to talk.
What is it, Theron?
I hope there's room for one more on that shuttle, because I'm going with you.
I appreciate the thought, but are you sure?
I know it's risky, but Satele is in trouble. I have to help. Whatever the Emperor's doing, I can resist it. I was on Ziost. He didn't control me then. Sure as hell won't let him affect me now.
Commander.
We need to speak with you. Before you go...
Whatever you need to say, I'm listening.
We're coming with you. We helped you defeat Valkorion before, and we won't abandon you now. Whatever this weapon is that he's unleashed, I'm sure it won't have any power over Arkan and I.
This is just as much our responsibility as it is yours. If there's the slightest chance Valkorion could return, we must do what we can to stop him.
Sorry to interrupt your send-off, but we need to get going.
We will accompany you.
I'm going too.
That is really not a good idea.
Kira is correct. Too many are already infected by Tenebrae's weapon. Bringing you is too great a risk.
That's not your call to make. The only orders I'm following are the commander's.
All right then. What do you think?
I wasn't expecting anyone to offer to come with us, especially since we don't truly know what we're up against. We're gonna need all the support we can get. Thank you.
If that is your decision.
It is.
Then let us proceed as carefully as possible. This changes the entire plan.
I wish you all good luck, and I'll keep our forces here on high alert. Should you need us, just say the word.
We appreciate the support, Lana. Thank you.
Whatever you need.
Enough talk. Let us depart before we lose the droid.
We're here, scanning the transport. Power fluctuations, system failures. Looks like the engines are out of commission. There's a ship parked in the hangar bay, but I can't tell if it's T7 shuttle or the servants.
There's our answer.
We'll have to go in through one of the airlocks, but we can't connect while they're shooting at us.
Leave them to us.
Locked on and sealed. We're ready to go in.
Master Satil will be all right. We won't let her down.
Thank you.